about it because Laura just said it. I know he just wants to hang out with me and spend time with me. The bottom line is, when you're not getting sleep, I know over this past year and a half, I have fully come to realize and appreciate how important sleep is. And if you're not getting good quality sleep, if you're going, getting woken up every couple of hours, you're not getting quality sleep, that will break you down. It will break anybody down. I don't care how strong of a person you are, it will break you down. So I think one thing to do is to take a step back and to show grace to yourself, because it's hard and you need sleep. We all need sleep. So that's a big thing right there.
Yeah. I know I can tell a huge difference. I can tell a huge difference in myself if I actually get to sleep. The next day I'm like, oh, what a difference this feels. This feels so much better. It still gets under my skin when she's pulling on me. It still does. But it's the thing to remember is they aren't acting. Now, I mean, if your kid just walks in and just punches you in the face, I mean, that's a different scenario than what we're talking about here. That's definitely, then you go into discipline. Then you go into timeouts and whatever you need to go into. But you have to keep in mind that what's really happening is they're just a little kid and they're playing and you're their toy is how they're looking at it. My big mommy toy, and I want to roll all over her, or my big daddy toy, I want to roll all over him and climb on him and have fun. And it's they don't understand that what you're doing is really important. Mm-hmm. They don't understand the importance of everything that you have to get done. And they don't see that. What they see is, I want you. I want to spend time with you. I want to spend time with you right now. I don't care about that. I don't care about that email. I don't care about those dishes. I don't care that you're cooking dinner. I want to spend time with you right now. Yeah. And that's all their little brains can manage.
Well, and their emotions are just as big and just as real as ours are. They have not figured out, we're the ones that teach them how to express those emotions. And I think being a parent is like total crash course in anger management, because you will be tested and pushed and tried in ways that you never have. Like, it will literally bring you to your knees. And for me, I don't actually, for the most part, really have an issue with anger. I've never struggled with that until I become a parent. And I would describe it more as not really anger, I just get pushed to my limit. And I get incredibly frustrated. And I have cried many a time. And, I think for me, the big thing that I watch is just try to cut out immediate reaction. No matter what happens, those beats, and you really do have to teach yourself. It takes some time to learn, but just take a beat. If they punch you in the face, if they pull your hair, you're trying to work and they're hanging on your, just take a beat. And it's okay to set them down and just walk away for a while. No,
that's not true. That's not true at all. Not true.
Nope.
Not at all.
No, because this is real. This is real life.
Replace the word man with dad.
Yeah.
You're a dad, so welcome to crying, because dads cry for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not on topic, but I do want to just say this, just address this. So he just said, I'm a man, I'm not supposed to cry. Let me just throw this out real quick. My dad's really a tough guy. Mm-hmm. Really tough. And he's not like a crybaby. He's very, he's just very, closed off, I guess, in a way. And let me tell you what, when I moved out and I went to college, my father cried every day for like months. My dad cried and cried and cried. And it was kind of lovely, actually, because it was like, wow, he really, it just showed me how much he cared. So I want to just throw out that even the toughest of men are allowed to cry and express those feelings. And you're crying right now out of frustration. Yeah. One day you are going to cry because they're going to leave and you're going to go, oh, I miss my babies. And that's allowed. So, you just,
It means you care. It means, it means that
it means you care. Yeah. I mean, that's why I get so frustrated, I think, is because it is the most important thing in my life. And I feel like when I feel like I'm failing or when I can't meet every need at the same time, then it's so overwhelming to me. And it's like, I just have to, it's one of those things where I have to, go down my list and get as much done as possible. And so let's talk about the no stage and the slamming doors in your face thing. So I dealt with this with my stepdaughter a lot. And it's one of those things where you have to, you have to, every kid's different. Every kid's different, but there are a lot of things that can work, across the board. She hated timeout. She hated it. My daughter hates timeout. They have that very much in common. So that's a punishment that works for our family. Spanking doesn't accomplish much for us, because I know my husband would swat her here and there on her thigh, if like on the on the meaty part, in the back, just when when she was physically assaulting him, he would back, hey, no, don't do that. But it was not as effective as when he would say, okay, you're in timeout, and removing that contact was vital to making progress. And even with my daughter, when what she wants is my attention and me, I find that when I'm like, okay, sometimes I even put myself in timeout. All right, that's it. I'm in timeout. I need a break. And then I physically, I'll turn away from her. I'll walk away from her. And she hates that. So then it's, Mommy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's how we address it with the no phase of the slamming doors. It's literally, this behavior is not okay. You may not do this to me. You're in timeout, and then you leave them for the appropriate amount of time, and then you come back. You know why you're in timeout. And then if they don't, no, yes, you do. You slam the door in my face. That's not okay. You need to apologize. They apologize, hugs, and you move on with your day. I love you. Let's move on. But that, but what the thing I think for me is finding a way to respond instead of reacting, responding to her and just saying to her, I want to be with you too. I want to do this with you. I just can't right now. I can't right now. You're important and we're going to do this, but I can't right now. And what you're doing does not make it come faster. What you're doing is not helping. And Alexis has pointed out saying it over and over again, because you have to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again for it to sink in. But let's talk about how that kind of affects your relationship.
I wanted to add something really quickly to what you were saying.
Oh, yeah, go.
So I, as a child, I was spanked quite a bit, and it didn't do
same
it didn't do anything for me at all. I mean, was not the kind of kid that I was, and I just don't feel. I think that first thing that we all need to realize is that we are the parents. Period. It's our house. It's our house rules. And so you as a parent need to take some time to really figure out what those house rules are. What are the rules in this house? And then when your child acts out, you give them, a couple of chances. Just say that, this is not allowed. This behavior is not allowed. This is why. If you do this again, then this will happen. If they do it again, the important thing is that you don't argue about it. You don't discuss it. You follow through and you do it. And you keep doing that. There's no reason, if they want to yell at you and get mad and frustrated, which they probably will, you just have to remind yourself that you are the parent until they are 18 years old. It's your house, it's your rules. And you just, I think the important thing is follow through. Say what you're going to do, let them know, give them warning. And if they persist, follow through and do exactly what you said you were going to do.
And use the word choose. You chose to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you chose that this will now happen. You chose to hit me, and you knew if you hit me, this would happen. So now you chose for this to happen. And when you say choose over and over and over again, because it takes some time for it to work, when you really nail that home, you chose this. You have chosen this. You have chosen your consequence. That word choose becomes really powerful. With my stepdaughter, it made a big difference.
Yes. And remind yourself, this is a phase that will pass. They will come back around. And I always remind myself, like when I was a teenager, I was horrible. I mean, I was, it's something like, think back to when you were at that age.
We
all went through it.
I'm guilty because I wasn't horrible.
Oh, I was horrible.
I wasn't. I was really responsible.
I
was really responsible and annoying, and like I got straight A's. Like I was not your typical.
Well, and something else too
that
when you're in the phase, especially with teenagers, if you have teenagers, so important. Like hook up, whatever you do, get involved with a group of parents. Like find other parents, because I guarantee everything you're feeling, all your frustrations, every time you lose your temper, you are absolutely not alone. And the important thing is to talk about it. Just
and showing your, I think showing your heart to your kids. When you really show that you genuinely love them, and that they are so important. I don't think kids just automatically accept that they're important, and they don't realize it. So you have to tell them, and you have to show it to them through, I'll say to them, I'll look at my kids and I'll say, look, I'm on your team. Like I'm on your team. I'm trying to make things good for you. So, when you have an issue, you can come to me and we will work on it together. I will help you. Even if you've screwed up, you've made a mistake, you need to tell me, because I'll bet you I know a way to deal with it that you haven't thought of, and that's more for older kids. I have a 12-year-old, so that goes for her. With my 3-year-old, it's more simple. It's, I love you. I'm on your side. I am here to help you, and I've said that to her over and over again, and her response has been really good.
You can do this job. We all feel that way.
Yes. Everyone feels
sometimes on a daily basis. You can. Yeah. Just it's like, one day at a time.
I'm terrible, or but you're a human being.
You're a human being.
And so it's not about feeling, it's not about the role. It's not, I have to be a perfect mom and dad. It's, I have to be the best me I can be.
Yeah.
So they see a whole healthy human being who's doing as good a job at life as possible.
You are going through the biggest refining fire of your life.
Yes.
You are. And the heat is on. And by the time you come out on the other side, guaranteed, stick with it, because you will become that sparkling diamond that's there. You just, one day at a time. If you look beyond one day, it can become very discouraging.
Yeah, you have to just get through today. And so, the issue that the issue of this particular blab, is how do you manage when someone's constantly pulling on you or tugging at you or climbing you or using you as a jump off point or bounce house or whatever they've decided that you are that day. And, I really want to get to talking about some of the strategies that we deal with. I know, so Alexis is not able to join us because she's having some tech issues, but I do want to bring up some things that she had mentioned because they were really great. So Alexis has 3 small children, and she is a single mom, and just, she came up with several things that she does that I thought were fantastic. So if they're all trying to climb on her and hug on her at the same time, she goes, "Oh, group hug," so that kind of removes the competition element of things. And they get excited about the group hug. And then picking out 3 books. So each child gets a book. And then when it's that child's book, that child gets to sit on her lap. So they each get a turn. When it's their book, they sit on her lap. I thought that was
a great idea. Yep.
Yeah. Leave it to Alexis to come up with genius.
Yes.
But I thought that was really, particularly smart.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, when they are, you know, physically hurting you, she has found that saying, you know, you can break me. You don't want to break me. I'd have to go to the doctor, you know, please do gentle touches.
Mm-hmm.
And then like she'll find that when she hugs them really tight or really hard, they'll go, oh, Mom, you're hurting me. You know, you're hurting me. And she'll say, oh, see, you like gentle touches too. I like gentle touches. So she uses that. She uses that as kind of a, you know, that comparison point to drive it home. And I thought that was really, those are really smart things. And she also uses the phrase, I don't like this game. Can we play something else, or can we play another game? So if they're being too rough, you have that I don't like this. Can we not do this, please? And that's a really great, you know, saying I don't like this is very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's simple and it's very powerful. I don't like this. You know, it's one sentence. So I thought those were really great tips from Alexis.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought those were great. And I mean, you know, Rose, you're dealing with a much smaller child who doesn't really have the language skills right now. So what are some things that you do, like, to inside of yourself? I mean, I know you've mentioned, you know, you try to keep certain things in mind, but what do you actually, like, how do you actually respond? You're trying to get work done, your kid's climbing on you, or you're trying to, you know, make dinner, your kid's climbing on you. What do you do?
Well, so there's two things that really come to my mind. One, I've become so accustomed to it that I just, you know, I acknowledge him. And I'm like, you know, but I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. And if he wants to cling to my leg, you know, and be dragged around, that's kind of what happens sometimes, unfortunately, because for the most part during the day, I find that if I just stop what I'm doing, get down to his level and just take a few moments, that's all he needs. It's not that much time, you know? So it's better for me if I just give him that attention, and then, you know, he'll go find something else to do. It's hard because he's in the phase where all he wants to do is like play trucks, push trains around, and by the end of the day, I'm like, I cannot take another minute of trucks, of pushing trucks around, you know.
It's but not I stimulating.
Think, no, those, like, for the most part, like, I have just learned, like, he will be screaming, and I've just kind of learned to, like, accept that he's okay. There's nothing wrong. He's having a temper tantrum, and I just kind of go to this place inside of myself where it's kind of just like I don't know. It doesn't get to me. For the most part. Now, like I mentioned, what's that?
I was gonna say, you have to find a way to, like, accept the noise level.
Yep. I've just learned to accept it, that but I also accept there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine. He's throwing a temper tantrum. He's learning how to deal with not getting what he wants. It's okay. You know, and I just sit there with him, and he'll look up at me, and I'll be like, you know, do you want to come to Mama? And he'll do the no, you know, and finally he'll come to me, but
but he's got to take that time.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I will take a moment and I'll go into the bathroom just for a minute, and I'll just look at myself in the mirror, and I just remind myself that I'm me, I'm fine, I'm normal, it's okay, and I'll just take a couple deep breaths, and it's amazing how just taking one beat away like that, one beat, just where you're by yourself, makes a huge difference for me, you know?
Oh my gosh, Alexis just said she used earplugs when they're crying to show them that she's putting in her ear because they're hurting her ear. So she's saying, you're hurting me, and using earplugs as a visual to drive that home.
Yep, absolutely. That's a very good one.
I mean, you know, you're exactly right. You know, remembering, keeping it, it's hard. It's not like this is easy to deal with, though. It's not like, she said they don't like it, but they understand also, and it takes the edge off the loud crying. I mean, this is not like something that's like, I do this every, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're just perfectly executing every moment of your life, every day. I mean, that's certainly like, I mean, these are things that I try to do, but sometimes in the moment you do kind of lose it. You don't, I mean, I don't mean to, I don't want to. But when I do, I'll say, look, I'm sorry. I didn't handle that well. Can I try this again? And you'd be surprised, your kid will always say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can try again. And then you really try again. And you go do it better. And then when you do it better, it really does help make up for a lot of things. A do-over is a really great.
Well, and remember, we're all parents, but we're all still just people. And we all have a strong, deep need for personal space.
Yeah.
You know, and when you go through a day where your personal space, even though it's by a little person, it's a little person that you love, it's still like being constantly invaded. And your need as an individual, and because it's easy to lose concept that I'm still an individual, I'm still me. Now that when you become a parent, but you are still you, and you still need that personal space, just like everybody else does.
Yes.
It's.
And Alexis is saying when you apologize, your kids do appreciate it, and and then it does bring up, like, they're more likely to tell you, hey, you hurt my feelings, and they'll tell you calmly because they know you're going to handle it, calmly. And the more you can demonstrate your calmness, the more it radiates out, to everyone else. But it's not an overnight success, and it's something that you have to repeat constantly, and it's something I fail at sometimes. I mean, you just have to keep going. You have to keep just showing up and saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. And then you have to actually try to do better. You have to actually put that effort. They can see you trying. They know. They can tell.
And it's good if they're letting you know that you have hurt them, or that's good. That means that you have a relationship with your kids where you're communicating, because there are many situations where those words are never spoken. It's just, stuffed inside and held inside. So
because you don't feel safe enough to actually tell somebody, and that's a big deal. So let's just talk about relationships for a minute, because I found, as a result of all of this, like, really unwanted touching. When Rose said she feels violated, it really helped me, because I felt the same way, but I wasn't acknowledging it, and I wasn't putting that word to it. I felt like I felt personally like I was overreacting, and I was kind of like questioning my feelings about it. And I was like, God, you're just being ridiculous. You're just being ridiculous. To myself, I would say this. But when you said it, it really, really validated it for me. And it made me feel like, gosh, that is how I'm feeling too. Like, I was scared to say it that way, but it was so spot on. So I just want to say thank you to you for saying that, because for me, it really just nailed it down. Because what the bottom line is, when I feel somewhat physically violated all day long, when my husband comes into the house and he's trying to be, like, physically affectionate in a particularly annoying way, it's just one more unwanted touch. And that was something that really helped me to understand why. Because I'm like, God, I love him. It's not like I don't love him. It's not like I don't want him to be affectionate. It's not like I don't enjoy him, hugging me. So it's like, what is it, And just that, well, I'm getting, like, attacked by a small ferret all day long. That's what it feels like. It feels like a crazy ferret has just all over me. So when you spend the whole day feeling like you've been gnawed to death by a small ferret, it's like, don't come in, don't grab my butt, don't touch, don't grab my boobs. Like, please don't touch me at all. Like, in that way, not right off the bat. You're looking at somebody who's been in trauma enough of the day. Like, I've almost gotten, a broken nose. Like, please, can you just show, like, Rose, you said this beautifully. Show me some kindness. Show me some kindness first. Show me some empathy first. Ask me about me. Actually show interest in me as a human being. Listen to me, hear me. And let's work up to that, because it's just because this little small ferret has been attacking me all day. Like, I just need that.
Well, if you think about it, when you are being attacked by a small ferret, You are.
I don't know how else, my poor daughter. I love her, but she's like a little small ferret.
But you're being drained. All you do all day is give. You know, you're not. I mean, you get those moments where they look at you and they're like, "Mommy, I love you," and then you're like, "Oh." But for the most part, you're being completely just drained of all that you have to give. So, you know, I think when you do, I think talking with your partner. I mean, my husband and I, we've gone through this, letting them know, like, first time on the problem, like, hey, I'm sleep deprived. I mean, you see it. I'm nursing constantly. I'm being tugged on. I mean, they get it, you know, but be honest and talk to them about it. And then let them know, like, I'm really struggling with this, and here's how you can help me. Like, come in the door, like, give me a back massage or a hug. And that just makes me feel like, A, what I'm doing is important and valued and appreciated and recognized. And, you know,
it's a nurturing touch. It's a nurturing touch as opposed to
a wanting more. Like, I want more of you.
Yeah. And what's in it for me? Like, nothing should be in it for you. Touch me because you want to touch me in a kind and caring, loving way, because that's what I need too.
I think in that conversation, like,
that's a nurturing touch. And
exactly.
It makes you feel so much more cared about than.
And guys, it's a way to score points. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
It's such a win-win. It's such a win-win. Or like, even, let me just say this, even just coming up behind, if I'm washing the dishes, coming up behind me and hugging me around my waist, and just hugging me, just hold me for a few seconds, even just 30 seconds, just to hold me for that time, just to hold me, because you like me. You don't like my assets, you like me, you know. That's a very different feeling when someone just genuinely hugs you. It's a nurturing feeling. It's a kind feeling.
And I think in that conversation, it's so important to validate and to validate and to really emphasize how much you do love them and how much you value them and you want that relationship, and explain to them why, you know, it's hard for you in this time to be that. It has nothing to do with them. It's like, I'm not getting sleep, I have some weird, hormonal stuff going on, like, here's what's happening. I think it's important to make sure you include that validation.
And I gotta say, I've had the conversation with him more recently, and it was so wonderful. It was so wonderful because I said it the way that you had said it to me, where it was, please show me kindness first. And when I explained, like, she's literally violating me all day long. I mean, it's not like I don't love her, but I'm getting physically assaulted all day. You know, I'm missing chunks of my hair. She's made my nose gush blood. I mean, you know, it's been, you know, it's physically draining. When I said that to him, he was like, oh. So I was like, you know, it's not that I don't want that kind of affection, because I do. I just can't go there the minute you walk in the door. Like, when you walk in the door, I need you to give me some kindness and some loving touches.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's made a huge difference. It's made a huge difference. He's been just hugging me, just to hug me.
Yeah.
What a difference. I mean,
well, it's because you explained, and then you let him know, what would help you, what you needed. And, you know, in most partnerships, that's the important thing, is like, well, how can I help? But that's what we're all thinking, like, how can I help you? And if you know,
right.
I know. And I know we're very different. It's, but, you know, I mean,
but doesn't it help for men to understand where we're coming from? Because then that will allow you to get the touches that you want and to get the physical contact that you want, without us feeling like, I hate this. I'm just going to go through the motions because that's what you want me to do, even though I'm miserable and I want to punch your face in. Like, wouldn't you rather the person be genuinely excited about it? Like, doesn't that help to know? Because, I mean, I don't enjoy feeling like this. I don't enjoy him walking in, grabbing my boob and feeling like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to punch you in the face right now. You know, I don't enjoy feeling like that. I don't. Yeah. I don't want to feel that way.
Well,
but I do.
Well, and maybe, to explain, not to get super just out there and woo and personal, but, like I mentioned, I'm in a place right now with my 19-month-old son. He's a big kid who literally wants to live nursing on me. He would be happy if I like strapped him to me and walked around all day, all night with him just sucking away.
Yeah.
And so when I go through that all day where it's a constant battle, I'm trying really hard to wean him. I'm really trying to like get that personal space back. And when I have that feeling all day of somebody to suck,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, even though I'm his mother and he's my son, I start to feel like, man, I just really am needing that space. And so,
yes,
in my relationship, my husband doesn't understand that. And I have to communicate. It has nothing to do with like us, our relationship. I've just gone an entire day where I've had somebody like sucking on me. Sorry, not to be like,
it's true. No, that's not. It's totally true. Because it's not like it's a sexual thing. I mean, you're feeding him and you're nurturing him and you're giving him antibodies. So like breastfeeding is, I mean, that's definitely, you feel like, I mean,
I'm happy to do it. No, let me explain. I'm happy, but like, he's at that age where it's like, it's time to start weaning. He's almost 2. And I can tell like, he'll probably go until he's 5 if I let him. Like, he's obsessed with it. And so I'm trying really hard to like.
Let me just say this really quickly.
Yeah.
The immune system is not fully developed until the age of 6. So what you're doing for him is really good health-wise.
I know.
You're giving him the best thing you can give him. You're doing a wonderful thing for him as a mom. I'm going to give you props for continuing to breastfeed because it is, at least I felt the same way. I know lots of women love breastfeeding. They love that connection. And I'm so glad they do. I breastfed for as long as my daughter would go. She went for 14 months. And I gotta say, I was like, I just need like that sucking, that constant sucking. And I want next baby, I will do this. I will go as long as they go. I will do it, and because that's what they need, and I will do what they need. But for me personally, it's a little overwhelming. And then when your husband comes in and grabs your boob, you're like.
Yeah.
Because you're a grown person. You're a grown person. You don't need me for nutrition. Please, can you just hug me first? So I mean, I get that. I totally get where you're coming from. But so it's definitely a challenge. But I think that saying to him, I feel violated a lot of the day. And when you come in and just hug me and do nice touches and do something that is for me, it helps. It helps replenish it.
Well, what it does is it opens you up and makes you want to. Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It makes me so much happier. It makes me a happier human being in my soul.
It makes you want to have shenanigans is what it does.
It does. It makes you want to have shenanigans. And this is probably TMI too, but the last time he hugged me,
welcome to our call.
That's what ended up happening. He hugged me for like 45 seconds and I was like,
get in there.
Let's go. Hey, everybody's still asleep. Let's go.
See?
And he was like, I didn't expect, and I'm like, exactly. See what hugging will get you?
Yeah.
Because there were no roaming hands. There was no ulterior motive. There was no, I need you. It was just kindness.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. Kindness makes a huge difference.
Kindness makes a big difference. Agreed.
A huge difference.
Well, see, should we have any last minute questions or thoughts or comments or anything that anybody wants to share before we wrap
and Alexis
up?
mentioned like skin contact therapy and gentle hugs are such an important thing. And by skin contact therapy, she means where you're literally just skin to skin for no reason. You're not trying to do anything else. You're just touching each other in a nice way. And that's definitely a good thing. Oh,
thank you.
Was useful. I'm so glad.
Thank you for Yeah.
Yeah, and hang in there, dude. What you're doing is not easy. So you know,
we give you props.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising children is not easy. You're raising human beings. You're teaching people how to be people.
Yep.
And you know, that's all you can do. You show
all you
up
can do.
and you show them how important they are. And when your kids know that they matter to you, they talk to you differently.
Yeah.
They do. And
they will eventually. It might be a rough spot now, but they will.
Yeah. If you've got the kids that don't quite speak, you'll get there. But I mean, it's definitely it was way rockier with my daughter than I was anticipating. So, you know, I'll look at her and say, what if something happened to you? I would hurt forever if something happened to you. Like, you are so important to me, you know, and I tell her that regularly. And it makes a difference in how she talks to me. It has made a huge difference in how she talks to me.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep. So remember, one day at a time, and sleep. Get sleep. Sleep is important.
I hear you, but you know what? It just doesn't always happen.
I know. Well, then coffee.
It's important.
Sleep, then coffee.
Yeah, or tea. Black tea.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much.
And we'll see you next time. We're talking about, what is our topic for the next lab?
So we don't have a specific title, but we want to talk about pets and animals and their relationship therein.
No, pets, not pets and animals.
Pets and ferrets, what?
No, incorporating how to
My daughter, the ferret.
Yes.
Sorry, baby, I love you. I really do. Yeah, animals and kids. That's what I was trying to say. Animals and kids and their relationships. And Alexis is laughing at me. And how they interact. And then how you manage that.
Yes.
You have cats, right?
Yes.
And I have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun trying to teach gentle chickens.
Yeah.
But it does not happen as quickly
We'll talk
in
about
my
it.
house as it has in previous experiences.
Yeah.
So that's our next topic.
Sounds good. All right. Bye, everybody.